Welcome, welcome, Happy Health Habits crew. I am out here, yes, in the rain. Unexpected thing to deal with here because my weather bug, I didn't turn on the news and my weather bug was clearly wrong. So I set up out here, so I'm stubborn and I'm staying out here under my tent. But it is June, what, is it the 27th or 28th today?
28th already.
28th already. We're we're sliding into July 4th weekend. We're sliding into the second half of the year, Q3, Q4. And so we want to, just put a bug in your ear to be thinking about what was that New Year's resolution that we shouldn't have made, because we don't make resolutions, right? We live it. We don't make resolutions, we make revolutions. But really, it's a good time to reboot for the second half of the year. What I want to do is start off by really giving you all a hug, and for the new people here, making sure that I've introduced this hug hack where you give yourself a moving hug. And I think it has a direct application to the conversation today about community and about relationships and managing ourselves in relationships. So Monday night was the Life Book Element 5, and it was Element 5 on managing our surroundings, and that includes examining the value of community and surrounding yourself with like-minded people. So this is from the Life Book. So examining the value of community and surrounding yourself with like-minded people. For the guests today and anyone else who didn't see it, you watch the recording from Monday night because it is pretty profound about community and the power of community. So we'll do that. But I want to do a little exercise called the hug hack to just start off the day, because managing relationships means we have to manage ourselves and manage our emotions. And if you look up page, let's see, in your Life Book, if you look up or write down page, what's the page? Managing and Experiencing, page 134. Says managing your experiences is essential. Regulating your own behavior will be easier as you become aware of your emotions and allow you to start managing your responses better, and helps you to create more positive connections to the people around you that are maybe your trigger people. That raise your hand if you've been around a person and in a relationship that's triggered you to do some bad self-sabotaging behavior. Has anyone been around a person like that? Hi, Robin. And you got all triggered and you all got all mismanaged and you got all emotional. So then you got off track with your healthy habits. I am sure that that has happened to everybody. So managing our experiences and regulating our own behavior in our communities is essential. So I want to play this little video because it's really short. It's 2 minutes, and it really explains. Oh, you're going to do it, Carrie? Yay! I was going to do it, but yeah, that's awesome. It really explains very briefly a little bit about how and why this works. Do you want me to do it, or are you doing it? You want me to do it?
I had it and I don't know why it went away.
Okay, I'll just do it. So why hug hacking works. Let's listen to this. Can you guys hear this? Oh, wait. Hold on. I want to optimize sound here. Hold on. I want to share. I need to go to the sound button, right?
Yeah, before you share it. So go back, unshare, and then
Okay. Here we go. Share screen.
and then optimize.
Share sound. Optimize. Okay.
Video.
Okay, so this is why this hug hacking thing works, and this is why it's so important. Kate Truitt.
Hello, my name is Dr. Kate Truitt, and I'd like to introduce you to a quick tip hack for connection during a time of isolation, physical distancing, my favorite term, social altruism, whatever you want to call it. The truth of the matter is that right now during the coronavirus, as a species, we are being asked to do the most counterintuitive thing that we could be forced to do in a time of deep stress. We are attachment-based as a species. We are touch-based as a species. So we have a quick hack here that I call the hug hack. That's the application of the self-havening touch on the arms when we first jump on a call. Now, I know this could sound a little silly, so let me explain the neurology underlying this. The self-havening touch shifts our state into what's called a delta wave state. And in the process of going into that delta wave state, which means our brain is operating at a very calm, easy brainwave state, we're receiving additional serotonin and GABA. Now, serotonin's that super famous neurotransmitter that we all remember for the antidepressant commercials. So it's the opposite of being sad. And GABA is a very calming neuromodulator. And so this little hack, even as you're watching me do this, your brain has specific neurons that are going to start to mimic what that feels like. It will start to generate a delta wave state in your own mind and body. But as you start to apply the self-havening touch to your arms, you're also giving your hug and you're mimicking the experience of somebody else touching your arms or giving you a hug. So think about when somebody's having a hard time, we might walk up to them and put our hand on their arm and run it down and go, hey, are you okay? Well, this is what we're doing by giving ourselves the self-havening touch on our arms. So this quick, easy hug hack maybe takes 30 seconds. But when you're greeting somebody next time, take a moment and say, hey, let's give each other a hug. I've missed you. Starting a team meeting, putting everybody into a serotonized state, always a good idea. And enhance connection in every way that we can. So let's hug hack each other. Let's bring in soothing, calm connection while creating a soothing, calm environment in our brains and our bodies.
Awesome.
Thank you for your time. I look forward to
Awesome.
healing with
So
you soon.
consider yourselves all hugged. So I love it when she talks about the fact that she uses it in meetings and such, because have you ever been around a stressful person or in a stressful meeting and you just notice the energy is just stressful? Just start doing, just start rubbing your arms, even just tapping your shoulders like this. No one has to know what you're doing, and it'll shift the energy in the conversation. It'll shift the energy sometimes even in the room and help you manage your emotions. Remember, our lizard brain, our emotional brain shuts off our cognitive brain, and that's why we make poor choices. It's not because we lack willpower, right? It's because we lack skill power. And we allow that primitive lizard brain in element 4 and 5 of our book to get the best of us. And once that brain takes over, and we have not used stop, challenge, and choose, that technology that Dr. Anderson teaches us, then we will go into those coping mechanisms that we do, that always happening thing, that coping mechanism that isn't healthy for us. That might be a bag of chips, it might be a box of cookies, but whatever that coping mechanism is just really an automatic pilot. It's really not something that is something you're thinking about. It's actually your brain driving the response to protect yourself. So try the hug hack around stressful people. Just try it whenever you feel stressed, and it will just create a new energy in the room. So I just want to share this too for the new people that are on today too. Thank you for being here. Love yourself enough to live a healthy lifestyle, and you're here showing up for it. So bravo to everybody. You're being part of our Happy Health Habits community, and Carrie's going to put the link to that hug hack link in the chat, so you can snag that and you can do that around your family and friends that trip your trigger. Okay, so love yourself enough, connect the head and the heart, hug yourself when you ever feel out of sync. Get your head and heart in the right place before you make decisions about your healthy habits. Our goal here is to take all these habits of disease that discombobulate our brain and our lives for all the guests here and integrate them into one nice round circle. We're doing better at all the different habits that we have to juggle. Have you ever felt like being healthy is like juggling? Anybody? It's a bit like keeping 10 balls up in the air, right? So some are on the ground, some are in the air, right? So our goal is to help teach you how to integrate to do things better in all the areas, what we call macro habits of health. And just again, those 6 areas. We can't really focus, right, Betty? Welcome, Betty. We can't really focus on what do we talk about this morning? We can't do it all at once. Betty wants to do all this healthy weight management, eating, surroundings, movement, sleep, healthy habits, healthy mindset. She wants to do it all at once, right? So put in the chat if you've ever tried to do it all at once, or if you're, and it didn't work, right? Or raise your hand, right? It doesn't work that way, does it, Betty?
No, it doesn't.
One thing at a time. So put in the chat just for everyone, like what area are you focusing on right now? Just so everybody gets to know each other a little bit here. I am focusing on sleep as always. I think Carrie, would you say the same thing? Or what are you focusing on this month?
Yeah, I definitely got my boost on sleep this week already, travel and everything, and just getting back into my routine. So just getting back to my circadian rhythms, and I have been in bed before midnight, even before 10 o'clock, one time even before 9 p.m. for a whole week now.
Bravo. Bravo,
Yeah.
my dear. Bravo. She just traveled from the United States back to Ecuador, where she is in the jungle right now. So just be really realizing that you can only focus on so much at once, setting the micro habits inside the macros and applying all 4 components of your tools and your skill sets. Your coach, you talk to me every week, and then you've got your life book and the Habits of Health book and the community, which we're going to talk more about today. And if you have it in front of you, page 137 and 127 and 139 were the ones they highlighted, which I want to touch on. And then the last component of our system is really making sure that we are always on a nutritional strategy, right? So every 2 to 3 hours, whether we're losing weight or whether we're sustaining it, we're eating and we're hydrating on regular intervals. And our goal is to set up an optimally healthy day. So don't forget this, element 8, have that twilight hour, the model morning set, our sleep patterns are set, and then have a plan for when we're eating and hydrating. So that's the overall goal. Okay. If you're not there, that's okay, because you're in some stage of transition when you're learning to become the dominant force in your life. Okay. You're either worn out, burned out, content, or thriving, or in one of those categories. And we're always constantly moving toward getting better, in these categories, and using the skill sets about staying above the line, staying out of the drama triangle, and committing to lifestyle learning. Who has something they want to walk through a learning? Who has a teachable moment? Who learned something this week that wants to walk through what's happening? What did you want to have happen? What's missing? What's next? Who wants to start? Anybody have a teachable moment? Let's see, who can I call on? Michelle's new, I can't call on her. Did you have a teachable moment, Sharon, where you had a situation where maybe you didn't make as good a choice as you wanted to, or?
Well, yeah, I do have to share an experience yesterday that we had as a family. So we were watching our 2 grandchildren, and we watched them all day. In the morning, we were at home. In the afternoon, we took them to the park, and it was brought up about having a treat of ice cream after. And we were at the park, and I had some bars with me, and I said to the grandkids, hey, would you like one of these? Or do you want to go get ice cream? I thought I better give them an option, because it had been brought up. They said, we want to have ice cream. So we went and had ice cream, and well, they had ice cream. I sat down and I said, I'm going to have, all right, I was going to have a bar. So my granddaughter goes, Grandma, you're not going to have ice cream? I go, no, I'm going to have this bar. And they proceeded to have their ice cream, my 2 grandchildren and my husband. And they were finished with their ice cream, and they were crawling all over everything. They were up and down off the picnic table, running
Sugar
around.
high.
What?
Sugar high, right?
Running around the tree. And I just sat there. I wasn't very helpful because I'm just like, okay, I wanted my husband to experience this. And I mean, they were crawling all over him and up and down, like I said. And I said, well, hey, I think your mom's probably home. Let's go see your mom. He said, okay. So we hopped in the car and we only had a couple, 3 blocks to go. And we got there and, you know, she had gotten home from work and the kids were they were climbing all over everything.
Still
I mean,
buzzing.
what?
They were still buzzing. Sugar
They were,
buzzing.
they were still buzzing. And my granddaughter goes to the pantry and says, Mommy, I want a treat. And she said, you know, you just had ice cream, you know, and you had ice cream was your treat. So, you know, as I've read stuff, I'm just like, oh, now she went through the sugar low because she absolutely had a meltdown.
Yep.
I mean, she just, there wasn't anything you were going to be able to say to her. And that was going to, that we, you know, and what went through my mind was what was I going to say? I mean, I've never seen them act like that before. You know, when somebody says no, you know, they just, you know, okay.
Meltdown.
But she had a complete meltdown. And I'm just like, this isn't their fault.
Yep, she ran out of sugar.
She ran out of sugar.
Yep, she ran out of sugar.
And she just had a complete meltdown. And during that time, then my husband says, I think ice cream wasn't such a good idea.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
just like, I didn't say anything because I'm like, this was an exact example of the
Yes.
sugar
Yep,
high and
Yep.
the sugar low.
and the sugar low.
I
Yep,
mean, they couldn't, you know, they
yep.
were really unmanageable.
So your family learned what to do. What happened was ice cream. What should have happened? You know, what did you want to have happen? Not that, right? What was missing maybe is a little bit of what's missing. What could you do better next time? What was missing?
Well,
could you do better next time?
So I had made my fudge popsicles that I had gone over the night before, and my husband came over in the morning, and I hadn't got a chance to call him and say, bring the fudge popsicles, because they have,
The healthy ones.
when they come, they go, can we have a popsicle? And they know right where to go. And has milk and bananas and unsweetened cacao powder and some maple syrup and cinnamon, I think is.
She makes healthy popsicles, and you were unprepared with your healthy popsicles.
I was unprepared. I had intended to bring them, but I didn't have a way to get them. Well, they could have thawed out and it wouldn't have mattered. I could have, but but it was just, okay, this was just a awakening.
So what's next is note to self, plan ahead when with grandkids around treat time or around, right? And maybe what we can do is
I thought it was good what you said too, that so that it helped for him to see what was going on.
Yes.
And maybe the kids realized or not, but like you said, it wasn't their fault. It was just the sugar reaction, but the adults have to observe and make the good choices so that the kids can learn to.
And there's quite right, Carrie, there's an opportunity there, right? What's the opportunity? To teach the kids what about the sugar roller coaster, right? Teach the kids. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep, that's an opportunity for sure. And that's why we eat every 2 to 3 hours so that we don't end up, because what do? We have meltdowns too, don't we? Raise your hand if you've had a meltdown. Yeah. We do the same. That's the funny thing I'm thinking this whole time. Adults do the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Don't they?
Yeah.
They do. They just don't, the only problem is we can't lay on the ground and kick and scream, right, Sharon?
Yeah. We don't start crying and, you know, and having to have our parents now manage us.
Yeah. But well, I've done that, I'm sure we all have done that, right? But we try to do it in a socially acceptable way, right?
Yes.
And that's where our coping mechanisms get to us, and that's where, where we need each other to tell the truth about everything. So so thank you for sharing about that. And that's a great lesson. Yeah. And Kathy, what did you learn about that? I heard something we talked about this morning. Reward. She said the word treat. All right. What have you learned? So Kathy is 17. Okay. By the way, Sharon, just for context, Sharon is what, 85 days now down, no refined
80.
sugar,
86. As I
86
guess.
days, no refined sugar at
Wow.
all.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yep. So congratulations. She's maintaining her healthiest, best BMI self, and she's working on optimizing. Kathy is down 17 in the last few months, and doing more of a 3 and 3 type of plan and regulating her blood sugar. And we were just talking about her and what she's learned, what she's loving, and what she's looking forward to. So you want to share a little bit about your insights on the treat reward thing?
Sure. I always felt like if I, had a good day or if I had a bad day, I deserved ice cream with, chocolate sauce and whatever else I put on it. And now I realize I don't need that. That's not the reward. And I'm doing healthier things and I'm feeling so much better. And it was hard for me to kind of realize that that's not how I reward myself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you totally changed your mindset on that. No coaching needed. It's not a treat, is it?
No.
No.
So Google,
Is-
if you missed the link, I'm sure I put it in there somewhere, but if you missed the link, Google sugar is not a treat YouTube. And there's a gal there who's a type 1 diabetic talking about the beta cells and the destruction of your pancreas with sugar. So sugar's not a treat, YouTube. It's really, really powerful.
And
so
we are not dogs to give ourselves treats.
And we are absolutely, Carrie, we are not dogs. Nope.
And actually dogs learn really good. They don't need the treats. They just need your.
Yep. They just need your love and affection.
Yeah.
Definitely. And so Kathy, what else have you loved about what you've learned, and what are you looking forward to?
Well, I just feel so much better for one thing, and have more energy, and I don't have a lot of the aches and pains. I think it's helped my inflammation.
Yeah.
Considerably. So that's a reward in itself. And that's what's kind of spurring me on to keep going.
Yeah. More sustainable energy over time, and able to get back in those golfing clothes that you couldn't get into. Yay, bonus.
Yeah.
There's some
Right?
bonuses, that's for sure.
But the better thing was the energy she had to go golfing. Okay. And the energy she now has to do the gardening.
Yeah.
And right, Kathy, that's what you
Right.
wanted to do when we first talked. So bravo to you, Kathy. Bravo. Because that just took a very short time and a very little, it's not like 300 pounds. It was just a very short period of time and a small amount of weight to change that. It's just the eat. Yeah. So congratulations, right? Round of applause. Did you see Monday night record, Sharon? Anybody see the recording Monday night? Did you have a takeaway from it? I know Sharon always takes notes, but this did you see it, Betty?
No, I didn't. I couldn't get on. I tried.
Oh, that's right. You were trying. Page 127 in your life book. Relationships are critical to everything we do. We are hardwired to be social. Our sense of connection, belonging, and attachment is fundamental. It's a fundamental human need. So our meeting together like this is a fundamental human need. I loved on the Monday night, it talked about we need our peeps. We need to be around other people who get it. They get us. They get it. Like we get Sharon, right? We get Betty. We get Kat. We need to be. That's an essential human need, guys. I love that part. And did anybody catch the risk of mortality if you're disconnected for too long from social community like we're doing here, companionship? 45% greater risk of mortality. 45%. So all the people, when I keep inviting, come to the group, okay? I forget how important it is. If you're going to Monday night, that's great. You're getting that piece. If you're going live, that's great. If you're watching the recording, good. Being there live is always best. But gosh, people, 45% greater risk of dying. And It's essential to a longer, healthier life. And then the other thing I loved was positive connections enhance our journey and they deepen our relationships. And no, that wasn't it. Well, just the power of community and then in the ability to actually be healthy. And then back on page 139, they talked about improving relationships. So relationships and managing our behaviors and relationships. The critical role of optimizing our relationship is to become better at managing the difficult ones. These conversations are usually filled with drama and excessive stress. They sabotage us frequently and are the ones that we have with family members, bosses, coworkers, and anyone who frequents the drama triangle. So if we can improve these interactions, they'll go a long way to keep life from getting in the way of our day-to-day interactions. Most of us do not handle stress well. Our decisions to improve our emotional behavior, become more aware of the emotional state of others, will improve our conversations and enable us to stay above the line. So studying where the line is really important, and how to stay out of that drama triangle. This is a critical chapter about how to regulate your own behavior and be aware of your own emotions. Write this down too. This is a jotter downer, the second Tuesday of every month, except for July. Dr. Anderson does his emotional awareness webinar live, and you can get on live and talk to him about your own issues with regulating your emotions. So make sure to take advantage of that and practice your hugging hacks, because page 129, it talks about the cool or no or go, the go system. And that's the primitive brain that causes you to become stressed out. That hug hacking will enter in here. It helps you to manage your own emotions and therefore your own behavior, therefore your own choices. So practice hug hacking whenever you feel dysregulated. Let's see, the power of emotions. Let's talk about relationships. Who has healed a relationship, or who is working on a relationship? It asks you in the workbook to actually go through your relationships and see which ones are the toxic ones in your community. Who's your sabotager? And who is your accomplice? Who's your supporter? And literally write those down. So Alicia, I don't know if you can talk. Do you know who your sabotagers are or your supporters? Or Robin, Michelle, you're welcome to chime in. Wendy?
This group is my support. Sabotage is everyone around me.
What? Say that again, Alicia?
My support is the group here. This is the true support that I have. The sabotage is my family members that aren't on board with my changes.
So write
Yeah.
down, it says page 140, take a moment to pick the 5 people who you want to improve your connection with, improve your community, improve your relationships. Write them down, know who they are, Alicia, and one by one, have those conversations with them about what you'd like to see the relationship be like. And, you know, those honest, truthful conversations. And those
140? You said 140?
It's page 140. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. These connections.
Thank you, Amy.
Yeah, the connections with these people come into our daily lives. They have a profound effect on our moods, our productivity, our health, and our ability to be well. So improving relationships. Has anybody
And
seen? Go ahead.
Wendy put in the chat that she's working on a relationship with her aging mom. Roles are reversing, and Sandy had to drop out, but that's a big win for her too.
Huge.
Yeah.
Huge. What are you finding, Wendy, with your mom and your relationship with her as you work on it? Because she's, she's aged and it's, it's difficult. Are you finding that you're applying I'm below the line, I'm in the drama triangle, I'm victim, villain, hero, I'm playing, are you seeing yourself in the drama triangle and what role you're playing?
Well, I have to say, I just spent 2 weeks out there and at her apartment complex and getting her from rehab back to her apartment. She broke her leg. But you know what, over the years, I am pretty good at taking care of myself. Finding time for myself, getting out and away from the drama.
So that helps. You're pretty aware of when you're stuck you get in the drama.
But it's hard because I was staying in her apartment with her. At times it felt like I was in the loony bin. At least, you know, Sandy's comes and goes with her mom for 2 weeks. I was there. So yeah, but I was able to take walks and I had a car, but yeah, but it's hard because she's, you know, they get older and they're sipping and you want them and you're used to them being your support and your sounding board. And at a certain point, they're not able to do that anymore.
Yeah. Yep. And that's when you just have to know how to regulate your own emotions, because we can't change what they're thinking, saying, they're aging, they're, you know, sick. We can't change any of that, right?
Cognitive decline and
yeah. So yeah, it becomes even more important to keep
and
ourselves.
so, but it's what it's doing, though, I must say, it's strengthening the relationship, I think, with me and my 2 siblings. And our roles are, it's interesting because not every family has this, and none of us have lived in the same city for like over 20 years. So we're not close that way, but our roles, we're finding ways that each of us takes a different role in my mom's situation. And it's, I'm grateful that that's working out.
Yeah, that's good. So those connections are getting deeper, which is good. Supportive.
Because we're each living or attaching to our strength.
Right. Yeah.
In this, I think I just froze up.
And do you have supporters in your life or sabotagers in your social circles normally? And most people are pretty healthy minded in your circles.
I don't have sabotagers, but I really, if you ask about supporters, I pretty much say I have nobody. I mean, it hurts me every time you say who are your closest 5 people, because I don't have 5 people.
Got it. Well, I think I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Oh, okay, fine. But I don't have a best friend, and I don't have anyone who lives where I live, really. So my closest friends have died. So I always think I'm just used to like doing it myself.
So, so you're a loner, you're used to being on your own, all that. So here's the thing, I'm gonna just, you know, bring a different perspective here of, okay, so working on your macro habit would be your surroundings. So dig into element 5 and dig into, okay, how can I build my social circles if it's so important, right, to my being healthy and well? What can I do to build my social circles? Well, you show up here. That's one thing. And you show up almost every week. That's brilliant. What else can you do? You can get together with Sandy. You've reached out with her and you can go on walks with her, maybe, you know, make a date to really do it, right? That I think that would be a perfect macro habit for you to focus on, is how can you create those connections that we need so much. It's critical as human beings. So because obviously it hurts your heart, right? So that means it's important to you, and it's important to all of us. So especially if you live far away from family too, right? So and so that's I'll challenge you to make that your you know, macro habit to focus on for July. How's that sound? Are you up for the challenge?
Possibly.
Huh?
Not sure I like people that much. That's the problem.
Hey, the good news is you get to choose your friends. Okay, you can't choose your family, but you get to choose your friends. So you're choosing us, and we love you. Okay, but just choose.
We like you, and we're glad you're here. So
we're glad
keep
you're
it
here.
up.
Yes.
Everybody remember, choose wisely, because, you know, and this is a great page 141. It's a good idea to preemptively stack the deck with people that can assist you on your journey, that support you. Okay. When managing your accomplices, those people that actually trip you up, and sometimes even purposely, make sure you're socializing with them. When you're socializing with those people who aren't supportive or really sabotagers, that you do it in environments where you can control something. You can control your own behavior, right? So make sure you manage, you know, where you go out to eat, what you do with those people, you know, influence them to do, you know, take the power role in those relationships. And sometimes it talks about maybe needing to take a break from somebody who's, you know, you need to take a break from it until your healthy habits are thoroughly established and that you can handle being around that person without losing your cool, without losing yourself. Does that make sense? Has anybody ever had to kind of cut off a relationship for a time being and really focus? Yeah, Wendy has. Has anybody else?
Oh,
Betty,
yeah.
have you, did you have to kind of step away until you could get yourself together? What was your experience, Betty?
Well, at the time, this was my first husband, and he was alcoholic. I was severely depressed and a food addict, but I didn't know that. And yeah, there was a time when I had to just step away from it because he didn't understand me, and yet he could open a whiskey bottle, throw the cap away because we're going to drink the whole thing, which I don't drink. I'm a teetotaler with an alcoholic. You know, it's just one of those clash.
Yeah.
And
Two
and yet
addicts two addicts trying to live together.
yes, exactly. And yet he could not understand that. Okay, I can open up a 5-ounce bag of chips and eat that and be satisfied. I can open up a 32-pound and I have, you know, I'm not satisfied until I'm so sick and bloated. And, you know, they don't understand that. And it's like, it's the same. And well, I can quit drinking anytime I want. Well, I can't quit eating. You know, it was just a
Yep.
things like that. So that was toxic. I got out of it. We've been very good friends for many years because we had 5 kids together.
Good.
We do birthday parties together. We do Christmas together.
Good.
But that's all we do, you know, and we don't
Mhm.
anything else in between. But yeah, it is hard. It is very hard to do.
Yeah, it is. In toxic relationships, you have to acknowledge them. What's your role in the drama triangle? Are you playing
Yes.
victim, hero, and villain? Okay, if you can identify how you're being victim, villain, hero, and flip the script and go and figure out how you can be empowered, how you can be responsible, how you can be, you know, the coach or the leader in the situation, then you can sometimes repair relationships, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And you can change and alter relationships, and then sometimes you know you obviously had to divorce, but sometimes relationships can just really be restored. Terry, I don't know if you guys know Coach Terry. She used to come to the group, but she completely restored her relationship with her daughter from what she learned about the drama triangle and the empowerment triangle, and completely shifted the script from drama to, you know, not to being able to be around her daughter without fighting constantly, and be in love and peace and grace, and be in, you know, kindness and goodness instead of being, you know, right?
Yes.
And just from what she learned in this book, right? How about you, Carrie? Have you gotten better relationships because of what you've learned? Or Sharon, Kathy, have you seen Elise? Have you seen anything? Michelle's just getting started.
Yeah,
with this. Robin?
I'm definitely working on boundaries and making myself a priority, my health a priority. Because I'm give and put myself on the back burner type personality. So I think a lot of women are.
So what part of the drama
but yeah,
triangle are you? What part of the drama triangle are you keeping yourself in? Are you stuck? Victim, villain?
Well,
or
I'm trying not to be the victim, and I'm trying not to be the hero rescuing everybody else. You know, it
yes.
sounds like a good role to be in, hero, but then that doesn't take care of your own needs. So I've done some leaps and bounds on that in just the last week. So
How are you empowering yourself? How you flipping the script, getting above the line? How are you doing that? How just little baby things you've done, maybe?
yeah, I think even just
Getting to bed on time?
rephrasing things in my
Getting better.
head. Yeah, not being a bully to myself.
Yes. Okay.
So and just saying, you know, I am good enough, I deserve this, and so I'm doing this for me, and then later I can help somebody else, but I can't if I'm not taking care of myself first.
Bravo. Raise your hand if you could take that advice.
I can take that. I like that. You know, I'll be writing about that. You know that.
No,
Yeah.
thank you. Elise's got her hand up. Go ahead.
Yep. Go ahead, Elise.
Or she was just agreeing maybe.
Oh, she was agreeing. Okay. Yeah, we can't, in an airplane, they say what? Put your own O2 on before you help your neighbor, right?
Yes. And that's
But you're-
true.
I've
your own
been,
on.
I've
What's that?
been with
Yeah.
with that
Michelle writes,
struggle
you
for a
cannot
long
fill from an
time.
empty cup.
Oh, Michelle, right?
Rescue,
not-
rescue, rescue.
Oh, okay. Elise, what?
I said I've been rocking that boat for a long time and it's a very hard habit to break.
It is.
But
Yeah.
I recently fallen off the ladder and I'm working my way back on. I think yeah, it's nice to be around the group again. And I
Yeah.
forgot how encouraging it is to be around others that share the same that are on the same boat and are working through the same struggle. So thank you guys so much. Thank you to Amy for not giving
Absolutely.
up on me.
You're very welcome. You've been missed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're glad you're here too, and I
Yep.
can totally relate.
And we all trip up and we all fall off the bike. We all fall off the ladder. We skin our knees and, you know, and we, right. And this is for Michelle, because we talked about this, I think, and for the visitor, Vicky, we all there, I'm taking the bike and the ladder away from you. Like if you can imagine, there's no bike to fall off of really. There's just a, it's not on, off, in, out. It's just learn. It's page 136. What happened? What did you want to have happen? What's different? What's missing? And what's next? How can I do it differently next time? Will you do it perfectly next time? No, probably not. Will you do it better next time? Hopefully. You know, maybe not. Maybe you'll have a day where you do really bad and you break your leg and you've got to get a cast. Okay. Well, at least if you fell off and broke your leg, so yeah, right. You get the cast.
Now you got more time to think about it.
Yeah, I mean, and we just got to do that. But as long as we don't quit, we haven't failed. So, raise your hand or chat if you make yourself a failure all the time. Are you bullying
Yeah.
yourself like Carrie? Right?
Sometimes, but
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't bully
So
yourself.
we're changing that, flipping the script.
Yeah, Carrie's
Yeah.
Carrie's self-talk, right? Candace's, oh, she was the worst I've ever, she's not here today, but the worst I've ever heard. I was like, what are you talking about? You can't say that about yourself. It's ridiculous, you know? We wouldn't say that to our friend, right? So Carrie, and I want to applaud you too, because you actually getting to bed on time at a decent time is self-care, and that's getting you out of the drama triangle as well. So allowing yourself that self-care time, bravo, my friend, bravo. That is fantastic. We got to allow ourselves to take care of ourselves and put our O2 on as well first. So let's see, you mentioned something else about what else did you say? You said something else. I can't remember. I've lost my thought. Oh, Elisa said she'd forgotten about how powerful the group was because she's been away for a while. And they were talking about that. Watch the recording from Monday night, because they were talking about that on the night, how just how empowering it is to learn. You're being in a group, you mirror your life, you see yourself
Bye,
in
Wendy.
bye Wendy, you see yourself in the mirror. It's like seeing yourself in the mirror, you know, and you go, oh wow, that's what I'm doing, right? And so it's really important to have that connection with people for that reason, so that you can learn. You can't see yourself, but when you see yourself in someone else, then it's helpful to learn. Does that make sense?
Totally.
Yeah, it's a different
Yeah.
perspective, and hanging out with people that are like you, that get you. I love that shit. I need people that get it. So that's a really big one.
Yeah, and I saw Robin had opened her mic earlier, so I didn't know if you still wanted to
Robin.
share, Robin. If that's what you wanted, go ahead.
Yeah, I've been in and out because of this little one here.
Cute.
But yeah, no, I when I listen to everything that you guys are talking about, I really can relate, because I think everything you've talked about today, I have definitely experienced. you know, like, and then with Wendy talking, I think she had mentioned too that she's caring for her mother or something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, I've just gone through such a huge transition from 2019 when I
Uh-oh, she's cutting out.
I thought it was me.
Oh, she's cutting out. Oh.
yeah.
Oh,
So, oh, and the hug thing. Yeah, the hug thing, you know, my aunt always had us do that.
really?
Yes. So I've been doing it for probably 30 years.
Really?
Yeah, but what she would do is she never talked about the therapeutic things. We just did it.
Yeah.
She's like, okay, take your left hand and put it on your right shoulder. Take your right hand and put it on your left shoulder. Now I want you to squeeze. That's me hugging you. And then she'd have
I
a,
love
you
it.
know, right. And we've just been
Hey,
doing that
that's so
forever.
awesome. Oh.
I so believe in it. And yeah, just, you know, it's hard when you're single like me. I haven't been with a man for, I don't know, 10 years or so. You know? And I was
Wow.
only with that guy as a friend for a couple of years. I've really been alone since 98.
Wow, what a great gift. Well, and
Yes.
and Kate Truitt was talking about how, you know, it was pre-pandemic when that video came out, or during pandemic when she did the video, because we were
Okay.
seriously, yeah, so we were seriously social distancing, and this was a hug hack, right? When you can't hug somebody. But your grandma or your aunt or whoever, wow, what a gift. I mean, I just learned this in the last 2 years. And I love it. I use it all the time, you guys, all the time. Anytime I'm stressed out or upset in a conversation, even, I'm just feeling off, or I'm feeling like I'm going to go down a bad road and make some bad decisions.
Yeah, and that's twice now you've talked to us about me that I anyway.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah.
so
It's an
taking
essential
care of
skill set.
yourself that way.
It's essential skill set to and it stimulates dopamine and serotonin and all the happy hormones, guys. The sleepy delta wave hormones that she was talking about. It's like taking I call it a dopamine cocktail. You give yourself a drink. It's like taking a drink of dopamine. It's like, right? It's and it's way better than sugar and doesn't cause you to melt down, Sharon. It doesn't cause a meltdown.
Yeah.
There's no.
And which person said that
There's
they've
no
been without
hangover. There's
refined?
no hangover.
Yeah, who's been without refined sugar now for a while? Who was that?
Sharon.
Sharon. Oh, you are my inspiration.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's huge.
It's been amazing.
It is huge.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
And it's so hard to do in our society because there just aren't very many options available readily, you know.
Yeah. And that's why, guys, they even infuse sugar in milk and stuff. Like you don't even know. They put it in stuff where you don't even know. That's why, you know, I love the idea. That's why I love the fuelings, because while there are sugar alcohols in them, they're not, you know, there are sugar alcohols in them, but that if you know, they're alcohols, they're processed differently than refined sugars. There's more nutrient density inside of the whole thing. So when you're eating it, it's with the fibers, you know, it's with the fruit, it's with the fiber, the protein, the fat. And so it's processed like the mini roller coaster versus the refined sugars, which are
The big scary one up and down.
but yeah, which are processed like the big first hill of a roller coaster. And that's where the crash and the meltdown comes from. So that's why the fuelings are good, because it does this. So whenever you have a snack, if you don't have a fueling, make sure you're not just eating carbohydrate. You have to have protein. Think about fruits, fats, plants, and protein all at the same time. Fruits, fats, plants, proteins, all at one time. Okay. Never alone. Always together, and you'll get the same effect of that level blood sugar. So does that make sense? But you know what? Thank you so much for sharing about your aunt. That's so awesome that you love the hug hack. I love it, Robin. I love it. And don't you find when you eat more frequently, Robin, that you've had, you know, that you are much more energy and you have much more control over your behavior?
Yeah, because you're feeding your brain.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
So yeah, it really does. It makes a huge difference on your behavior, how you're feeling your body. And, you know, anyone who's raised children, we know what we give those kids is going to affect what we get from them.
Absolutely. 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 It does. What you feed them is what you get. Hey, does anybody have the life book in front of them? Do you guys, anybody have it right there? Page 135? Who has their life book? Okay, Kathy, will you read page 135, the bullet points for us? Read those for us. Tips to stay above the line. These are brilliant.
Immediately sense your breathing. Feel the hot energy cool down before you speak or act. Open your water bottle slowly and take a drink before speaking. Think of how your response can improve your health before choosing. Count to 10 before responding. Sleep on it before responding. Get a better night's sleep. Smile and be appreciative. Be open, curious, and desire growth when challenged. Those are great ones.
Woo! Okay, which one do we need to work on? What would you say, Betty? Kathy, Sherry? Which one are you gonna apply?
I like to open the water bottle slowly. I like that one. That was just to calm yourself down a little bit, because I do the breathing and a couple of the other things, but I like that. Open it slowly.
Yeah, it's kind of therapeutic when you just kind of, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Because I want to go, you know.
And Betty is practicing also eating her fueling over 15 minutes. That slowly. That is safe to say I have not done that.
Oh, really? Because I thought if they were ready in 1 minute, you got to eat it in 1 minute.
I'm like,
yeah, I like that, Betty. I'm going to work on that.
Okay.
Yeah, truly, I was inspired about that because I'm like, no, I'm just,
yeah. I had to slow myself down. Bite, hand down,
yep,
then chew. And because I'm going, and I'm just like, a dog could not beat me in eating. Let me tell you, I can wind down.
I hope, Michelle, do you have anyone? If you do, put it in the chat. Kathy, what one do you want to work on? Or are you going to apply that you have?
Count to 10 before responding.
Woo!
Me too.
I need to work on that one.
You know what, guys? I try to count to 90 sometimes at night when I'm trying to, my head's like this. I try to go 90, 89, 88, 87, 87. Because it says in the book, it takes 90 seconds, right, to get over an emotional wave. So I try to consciously count to 90. I never make it.
Yeah.
I can never make it, but I try. So yeah, it's hard. It's hard to control those thoughts. What else? Let's see. Sharon's going to work on that one. Michelle, what about you, Carrie? What one are you going to apply, or Robin?
Just to even the immediately sense your breathing, just being aware, because it's like we start hyperventilating, or it's like, oh, I'm holding my breath. Why am I holding my breath?
Right?
Not good. Not good, people. That sends you into fight and flight. Is quick as anything, and then you hyperventilate.
Carbon dioxide buildup causes your brain to be stressed out, right? Then your brain thinks, your brain thinks I'm going to die. And then
I love the water thing, and then it just like exhale.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you, Carrie. Being aware of my breathing. It's not until I started working with this program, and then with my other mental health coach, Lusana, which Carrie and I have in common, that I've been really practicing breathing. Literally have to learn how to breathe, because I realized my entire life I held my breath. I don't know how I lived. I don't really know how I survived. And no wonder I had severe chronic debilitating anxiety and panic attacks, because I literally held my breath all the time. And once I became aware of that, it was like, oh, no wonder I got liver tumor. No wonder I got liver tumors. No wonder I had cancer. No wonder, you know what I mean? You can just see, right? Not only the mental health effects, but my physical health. And over time, that lack of oxygen, guys, it's terrible.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
It's-
just, I like it how it says, just of the awareness, just sense it, be aware
Yeah.
of your breathing and your feelings. And so someone told like 10 years ago told me that I was breathing wrong. And I'm like, really? Because if I were breathing wrong, I'd be dead. Well, I was killing myself and I didn't know it.
Yeah.
But it took me months of conscious effort of awareness to learn how to
Yes.
breathe correctly
Yes.
out of the lower lungs, not the upper chest where you hyperventilate.
Yes. Amen, girl. Amen. Be
Mhm.
very
I took
aware.
classes.
I know. I know. I've done the same thing. I've had to get coaching on breathing. It's just crazy. Sharon, can you read the bottom quote here before we close out today?
Sure, it says, here's the question, who can upset you? And the answer is only you.
Yeah.
Only you. If you haven't done your bullet points, you're gonna get upset.
Yeah.
But do your bullet points, and you're gonna be whoo. You're gonna be okay. Funny thing about the breathing, I have to just say, I'm working on that. I'm a work in progress, and the counting thing I still work on. But my husband, the other day, I didn't even realize it, but I was in the kitchen going. And I was like, and I didn't realize I was doing this. And he's like, what are you doing? What are you talking about? He said, what's the breathing all about?
Yeah. They.
And I realized I was feeling stress building up in my body. And my shoulders were getting tense, and I was getting a little bit of pain, and I was feeling like stressed, and tense. And I was like, I just automatically started breathing out.
Yeah.
So, and I wouldn't have known how to do that until I've been taught how to do it, guys. But when in doubt, breathe out really hard. Just breathe out, get that carbon dioxide out of there, and you'll feel better and have more energy, like almost instantaneously. Have you done that, Carrie, before?
Yeah, you need the release. When in doubt,
Yeah.
breathe out.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep. Lusana taught me that. When in doubt, breathe out. I'm like, whoa. But I was doing it automatically, so yay me.
Yes. Good for
I
you.
was unconsciously competent about it, which is brilliantly happy for me. That's a big day. That's a really big day. So anyway, I'll let you guys go. This is wonderful. Thanks for being my community. I love you. Thank you a
Yes.
million billion times for being my community, because I wouldn't be here without you.
Yes.
And I wouldn't be, as far along on my journey,
Yeah.
without this group
I agree.
either. So, so let's stick together and invite friends. Bravo, Vicky. Sharon, thank you for inviting a guest. Everybody is welcome. Everybody needs a better habit. Everybody can benefit. So bravo,
Yeah.
come back, Vicky. We love you. Did she talk in the chat, or did she want to say anything? Did you get anything out of today, Vicky? Do you want to share or not? It's okay if you don't, but I just want to offer her an opportunity to do so if she wants.
Nope. That's,
Nope. Okay.
Robin said she learned a lot. She used to hold her breath, but now she's more aware. They're working on
Good.
awareness and calm.
Everybody go count to 10. Have a wonderful day and breathe out.
Thank you.
Love
Thank
you. Bye-bye.
you. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
I'll call you, Carrie, in a
Hugs.
few minutes. I'll call you back in a few minutes.